A class starts tomorrow for Cherry Creek schools, and one of the schools is getting an advanced lesson in trademarks and licensing. Late last month, we found out the NHL reached out to Smoky Hill High School over the use of its buffalo logo. But we now know it wasn't to get the school to stop using it. Our Marshall Zellinger got the emails between the school and the NHL, and he is live outside of Smoky Hill tonight, which if you are a regular 9 News viewer, you know that is where he got his start in journalism.
Yeah, Shalima, my newspaper journalism class was on this side of the building, and when I was a student here in the 90s, this is what our buffalo logo looked like, and yes, that's what I look like. Right before I graduated, our logo changed to something similar to what was then the Buffalo Sabres logo at that time. It turns out last month when the NHL reached out to Smoky Hill about the use of the logo, I found out in emails it was simply to get an agreement signed at no cost to make sure Smoky's use of the logo was on the up and up. For more than 50 years, Smoky Hill is home of the Buffs. And for about half of the school's history, this has been the Buffalo logo. It became that shortly after the NHL's Buffalo Sabres started using it in 1996. It's just an alternate logo now for the Sabres. This is their current logo. Anyway, in September 2019, the NHL reached out to Smoky Hill. We recently learned that Smoky Hill High School is using a modified version of a Buffalo Sabres logo. We do not want to disrupt your school's use. We're happy to offer continued use at no cost under a license. The NHL talked with Smoky Hill and Cherry Creek schools about signing a royalty-free license agreement. That means the school tells the NHL where the logo is currently used and then gets permission to continue using it, so long as the school is not putting the logo on merchandise and selling it to the public. The emails stopped in February 2020, just before COVID. Then, in September 2025, the NHL emailed again. The NHL wrote that the license agreement previously granted expired in 2022. The school district tells me that agreement was never signed. Nevertheless, the NHL just wants Smoky Hill to sign a new no-cost royalty-free license agreement. Again, continued use of the logo, just don't make money off of it. Well, the school may have been. This email shows a graph of money generated from Smoky Hill merchandise, but it does not decipher how much is from merch with the SH logo versus the Buff logo. The district sent out a letter to the Smoky Hill community last month saying it will not sell clothing or swag this fall with the existing logo. According to the emails we got through our records request, the NHL helped edit that letter, though not all the edits made it. Like the part where the NHL wanted the district to write, while the NHL has not demanded that we change the logo, and that appears to be true. None of the emails from the NHL tell Smoky Hill to change the logo, just sign an agreement to keep using it. It may not be used for long. In June, in some of the communication between the district and the NHL, the district basically asked the NHL if they could put this on pause while the school considers a potential rebranding of the logo and mascot. But in the letter that went home to the school community, it said if changes would be necessary, the community would be involved, but that the school colors and mascot would remain unchanged. Some communication going to the NHL, different communication going to the school community, but right now this remains the logo, which this newspaper was my last one, by the way, before I graduated, which is why my column was called One Last Hurrah.
One last hurrah indeed. I think we need to get you to hold up your ID one more time too, Marshall. We really enjoyed that for sure. Yeah, you got it?
This feels like self-inflicted wounds by doing this for you.
I mean, we appreciate it very much.
I guess, Shalima, I'll say one more thing. That there's going to possibly be a bond issue in Cherry Creek schools in 2028, which would, I believe, include a rebuild of Smoky Hill High School. So there's conversations of whether or not when the school, if it gets rebuilt, would then do the rebranding. So it could, you could have this logo for years, I'll just say.
All right. Alum Marshall Zellinger reporting for us tonight. Thank you very much for that.